All right, let's talk about Scotland, shall we? When wokeness has completely jumped the shark, we go to Scotland. My people, my background, my people, and my
okay.
We joke
Clayton's
about this.
23andMe has like
My
Morris
ancestry. Yeah, Edinburgh
of the MacLeod Morrises.
Yes, the clan, from the Edinburgh clan. So it goes on back on my mom's side to Edinburgh. We as Scottish pronounce it Edinburgh.
Okay.
So anyway, let's go to Scotland, where they have a great new government program to help ladies learn about their periods and where you can get sanitary products, ladies. There's just one problem. They've chosen a man to lead this because, it's 2022. Here's your man. Here he is, Jason Grant. There he is. At least he is wearing...
It's not a very Scottish name.
At least he's wearing a red shirt.
Sure.
Right?
That's what I was just going to say.
And he's going to help you, ladies, understand your periods.
Okay. So he'll tell us what to wear a looser fitting kilt when you have the cramps, right? And the bloating.
The only problem is men wear the kilts.
Yes.
Do women wear kilts? I guess they
no.
do.
So
men wear kilts, right?
So the thing is that he'll have to know what time of the month to wear the looser ones.
Right.
Right. Okay.
He's a former personal trainer. He has been given the job of promoting access to free sanitary products in schools and colleges in the Tay region.
I mean, this is the one piece of this that is a super positive piece of news, is that Scotland has decided to provide sanitary products to anyone who needs them, right? Especially during a hard economy. This is not something that will just be for people who are privileged enough for these products.
Yeah. Look at this photo, though. I just laughed out loud when I saw this photo of Jason explaining to a group of people and a dude how, the women's body works.
Well, he says that the purpose is to demystify talking about menstruation and realize that this is a conversation can be had between genders, which, okay, I get it, because, there's the old trope of when you send your husband to get sanitary products and they're too embarrassed to do it. There's a whole scene in Mr. Mom about this, right? Where he's hanging out by the boxes and he's like, yeah. And
he grabs one of them. Yeah.
Right. So, okay. Do we really need to combat men being sort of embarrassed? Is this a big problem in the world?
I'm surprised that you took this tact on this story. The outrage about a man being chosen for the first time as this is the dignity officer, the period dignity officer. We're choosing a man.
Well,
why am I defending?
Two things. One, this that might be a point that, okay, men
it
can
is a
talk.
point. Martina Navratilova came out and said, this is just effing ridiculous. She said, the fact that she said, have we ever tried to explain to men how to shave or how to take care of their prostates or whatever? This is absurd, she says.
Yes, I agree with her. But on the other hand, we wouldn't talk about it at all if it was a woman that was appointed.
Why? But that's her job, is to go out and then meet with women.
Right,
to talk
because
about
that wouldn't be interesting, right? So this man at least
brings awareness to it because it's a ridiculous story.
Well, right, but and you're talking about a man that's going to be talking to young girls in college, they're going to be uncomfortable to talk about it with a man, I would think, than a woman.
Yes.
Right. This is another piece of it, though, that bothers me, right? Is this idea around unisex bathrooms. The idea of it is that everyone has to be comfortable talking about these bodily functions around all genders, right? And I think that is something that's a big ask, right? And I think about 13-year-old Natalie, who, was wearing white jeans on accident on a day that I shouldn't have been, right? And wants to deal with that in the confines of a single-sex bathroom. Then these are things, right? What we're saying to everybody is you must be comfortable talking about all things, whether, your body around all genders. And I think that is maybe too much to ask of any given gender, right? I feel like, especially when it comes to your period, you don't want to discuss this with someone who does not experience it, right? And there's just you don't want to hear about it.
This is 2022. So now, Like the idea is, well, maybe if Jason wants to experience it, he can experience it.
Jason cannot experience it. That we're just going to say right now that, and I don't think they're even trying to say that Jason has any experience points, right? But
I hope not.
But I flashed to the book Leaned In by Sheryl Sandberg when she said that a man will look at a promotion, and these are, of course, gross generalizations, but her point was that a man will see a promotion and be like, yeah, I'm qualified. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take this job, sure. And a woman will say, well, I need to read 5 books, and maybe I need 5 more years of experience, and maybe I'm not quite ready, right? And so this is a typical example of that, where a man's like, I can do that, sure. With 0 experience, none, right? Not even 1 day of bleeding. Or cramping or anything like. Sure, but again, this is not an experience, right? If you're going to talk about this as an experience, I do think that it's not so much that it's annoying that he gets to do it. It's more that it's annoying that they didn't reach out to someone who does experience it.
Susan.
Like you have to have, if you've read this beautiful Anita Diamond book called The Red Tent, like I do feel like you need to have been in the red tent to get this type of job.
See, D. Wilson says, I'm getting grossed out. Okay, see, this is an example of why maybe women should be talking to women about something that's biological. It's not something that you should be grossed out about. It's a biological function.
I'd be happy to welcome this guy in to tell him exactly what it's like and how he can maybe talk to other people about opening up the conversation, right? But as a leader, no.
Susan,
I think it would be better is if they started this in a curriculum in school. Like they should be talking about this to school kids in the grade where they would start to have it with the boys and girls, so that there's no discomfort around either side, that the guys understand it's okay to talk about it's going to happen to the girls, and the girls are okay that it's going to happen and not embarrassed by the boys. But they they hide it from everybody. They try to make it this secret thing. And I understand that, but I think it's because we don't do that's the way it is.
Susan Dalgetty is a feminist and a columnist for the Scotsman newspaper, says, it's great that Scotland is the first country in the world to offer free period products, thanks largely to the efforts of Monica Lennon, a Labour MSP who made tackling period poverty her mission. But she says, I'm astonished that a man has been appointed to lead on period dignity. It takes mansplaining to a whole new level.
And it also makes me feel like women ourselves could not dignify menstruation, right? Because if it's just women talking about it, we're just hysterical. But if it's a man there, then, okay, now the conversation's serious. Now we can have it because we're legitimized by the presence of a man, and that also is very offensive.
And I feel bad for this guy, Jason. I'm sure he's a nice guy. And his PR people, the people in the wake of this controversy, people reached out to his PR consultancy, and they said that he was not available for an interview. And he says, although affecting every woman directly, periods are an issue for everyone. So, okay, but ridiculous.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
I'm so glad that we have now a man to legitimize this experience. Right.
Right. But maybe we could have had a woman do it. I'm just going to throw that out.
He did have to cover up his tattoo, though, on his back that says, never trust anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die.
Stupid. Stupid. Ladies, if you want an empowering way to think about your menstruation, please read the book, The Red Tent. It's an amazing book. It's sort of like The Alchemist for women. I cannot say I can talk. We could be here all night if you let me talk about this book. Amazing, amazing book. But I do very much feel like you need to be able to have experience with The Red Tent to have anything to say about The Red Tent. And men can read The Red Tent. It's an amazing book.
I was just going to ask, is it good reading for a guy like...
Everybody should read this book.
I watched the movie. We watched the movie.
No, you didn't. I wouldn't let you...
We watched it together.
No, I watched it while you were traveling.
You watched it a second time.
Specifically, yes, I did put it back on again. Yeah, it's a 2-part movie.
Would I still get out of the movie what I would out of the book? Because I'm much rather watch a movie than read a book, personally.
No, you can't watch don't do that in this order. You got to read the book. Okay. You have to. This is you can't replace it because there are choices that were No.
Okay.
This is, it's just, women are goddesses, okay? The ability to have a period is one of the things that makes us a goddess. I do not need a man to tell me that experience is sacred, that it's okay to talk about it in public. Here I am talking about it in public. And yeah, I don't need that legitimization across gender. This is what we got, us bleeders. We're in it together.
And this is coming from a woman who ate her placenta, so do not take that seriously. Like,
I think it's great. I think it's great that you're talking about this.
Do you? You put it in the rundown, and you're wearing a shirt with blood on it.
That's right. That's right.
So.
It was either this shirt or the other one, my gynecologist shirt. Have you seen it?
No.
I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look.
No, that's stupid. That's like a 20-year-old shirt. I know. This is 1998.
Welcome to our show. This is something you can't see on cable news, I hope, anyway.